Hello students, welcome back to the session of laws of motion and it is part 3. So let us study. So let's know what are the topics to be covered in this session. Those are introduction to momentum and momentum, SI unit of momentum and also the dimensional formula of momentum. So these are the topics which are going to be covered in today's session. Let's start with introduction to momentum. Then what does the introduction of momentum says here? Let's know. It is our common experience that a moving body has the capacity to impart the motion to those bodies with which it collides. Before going to know the definition of momentum, let's learn the concept of momentum, okay? Which we denote here it as introduction to momentum. So here what they are saying, it is our common experience that a moving body has the capacity to impart the motion to those bodies with which it collides. It is true, right? For example, let us consider any object which is there in front of you, okay? Which is there in front of you either on the table or on the ground.
Now we consider a boy is there and he is moving in front of a large stone.
And unfortunately, if you collide with this object which is there in front of you, then what happens? This object may move slightly. In the sense what? The motion which was there in your body is imparted. Is imparted andre ಏನು?
Boy's motion is shared ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ.
So motion of your body is shared to this object which is there in front of you. That's what here it says. Okay. In similar examples, like just imagine you are riding a bicycle. Consider a bicycle is there in front of you. I am drawing a rough diagram of a bicycle. Please imagine it is a bicycle. So consider this is a bicycle. Okay, now this is a bicycle or motorbike and you are riding this bicycle. Okay, so you are riding this bicycle and in front of you if you get a stone. Okay, so when you are moving with certain velocity, if you collide with this stone, what happens? The thing which is going to happen is this stone may move slightly. In a sense what? The motion occupied by the bicycle is going to be imparted to the stone. Okay, if the mass of the stone is lesser than the bicycle, then there is no effect to you and your bicycle as well. As in case if the stone is very large, and if you go and collide with this large stone, then who will be affected? Of course you will be affected. I mean the bicycle will be affected. Then what is the reason? Because the body which is having more mass will give the more effect and the body which is having less mass will be affected. Is it clear? I hope you have understood. Okay, in general example, I will explain you here clearly. We'll consider a bike and car. Okay, we'll consider a bike and car. This is a bike which I am trying to draw. I hope it's looking like a bike. I don't know whether it is. Okay, imagine this is a bike and you are riding this bike. Okay, you are riding this bike and in front of you there is a car. Let's we'll consider a car. Yes, this is a car. Yes, this is the car. Okay, now okay. This is the car which is coming in front of you. Okay, you can tell easily which is having more mass. Car is having more mass. This is more mass And what about the bike? Comparatively to the car, the bike is having less mass. Okay, and the car is coming with certain velocity. Let me say this is velocity v, and the bike is coming with certain velocity v. Okay, irrespective of velocity, ಅಂದ್ರೆ v velocity na consider ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ. We will consider only about what? We will consider the mass. So when the both of them come opposite to each other, in accidental cases, if bike collides with the car, ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಬೈಕ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾರ್ ಕೊಲೈಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, which will be affected more? Obviously bike. Why the bike is going to be affected?
As because the car is having more mass, it will put more force on the bike and hence bike is affected.
ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಟೂ ಕಾರ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಮಾಸ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಕಾರ್. I am drawing two wheels and other two wheels are invisible. It doesn't mean that there are no two wheels. There are wheels, but it is invisible. Okay. Okay, these are the two cars which is there here. And here mass is same. Let me call this car is having mass m1 is equal to mass m2. But this car is moving with velocity 10, or no, 10 is very less, so I'll consider 40 kilometer per second or 40 kilometer per hour. And this car, the opposite car, is moving with certain velocity, that is 60 kilometer per hour. Okay, as the mass is same, but velocity is different. The car here, let me name this car is B. The car B is having the velocity 60 km per hour and the car A is having the velocity 40 km per hour. When they come opposite to each other, in case accidentally if they collide, then which car will be affected? ಯಾವುದು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಇಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕಾರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಕಾರ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಮಾಸ್ ಎರಡ್ರದ್ದು ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರದ್ದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಬೇರೆದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾರ್ ಬಿ ವಿಲ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಕಾರ್ ಎ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋರ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಸ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿನ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟೂ ರೀಸನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದೋಸ್ ಟೂ ರೀಸನ್? ಬೋತ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಬಾಲ್, in case the ball is having less mass, okay, but coming with very high velocity ಇಂದ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ ಕೈಗೆ ನೋವಾಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ ಸ್ಲೋ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಲೋ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ, ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಹೈ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ a large thing, large material, whatever is it. Let us consider a large ball. Okay, and this ball is having more mass comparatively before, which I had given. ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾನು ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಸಣ್ಣ ಬಾಲ್ಗಿಂತ ಈ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬಾಲ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಮಾಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್. ಯಾಕೆ? ಮಾಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಮಾಸು ಮತ್ತೆ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಇವೆರಡು ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಾಡಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಎರಡೂನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಯು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಯು ಆನ್ ಅನಿಮೇಷನ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ a truck is going to collide with the car. Before colliding, you have to observe the car is in state of rest. ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಕಾರ್ನ ಬೈಕ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಡಿಕ್ಕಿ ಹೊಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಡಿಕ್ಕಿ ಹೊಡೆದಾಗ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬೈ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ದಟ್ ಟ್ರಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಮೋಷನ್ ಟು ದ ಕಾರ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಕ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ತನ್ನ ಮೋಷನ್ ನ ಕಾರ್ಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆಸ್ ದ ಕಾರ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೆಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಟ್ರಕ್, so that what happens to the car will be affected by the truck. This animation shows that more the mass, more the force on the opposite body. Is it clear? I hope you have understood. The same example with a different explanation I'll show now. So this is that. See now, both the car and the truck is moving with certain velocity and facing each other. Okay, let us consider both of them are moving with the same velocity. But which is affected? The car is affected. Again, why the car is affected? Because mass of the car is very lesser than the mass of the truck. As the mass of the truck is more than the car, the truck is going to put more force to the car. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ ದ ಮೋಷನ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೋಷನ್ ನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಾಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಎರಡು ಕೂಡ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Okay, so this is about mass and velocity. Then now we are going to the topic, then what is the definition of momentum anta we will study now. So let's go to the momentum. Then what do you mean by momentum? Momentum, as I told you, the motion is imparted because of mass and its velocity. The momentum is also depending on mass and velocity. Okay, so it is the product of mass of the body and its velocity. So any body, if you consider any body, this body will be having certain mass, and if this body is moving with certain velocity v, the product of those two is called as momentum. You might have heard this in many cases. Momentum of the ball is more, momentum of the ball is less. In cricket commentary you might have even heard, right? So this is that. This is about momentum. So what is momentum? It is the product of mass and velocity. Previously this momentum was called as quantity of motion. It was called as quantity of motion by scientist Newton. Laterly it started calling as a momentum, and this momentum is denoted by the symbol small letter p. This momentum is denoted by the symbol small letter p. Okay, now you consider if for a body of mass m moving with certain velocity v, then what is the momentum? As it is a product, we can write p is equal to m into v. That's what we have written here. P is equal to mv. Okay, na? So this is about the momentum. I hope you have understood. So what is momentum? It is the product of mass and velocity. In simple manner, you can define the momentum as the product of mass and velocity. Is it clear? Okay, now we'll go to the next topic, that is SI unit and dimensional formula of momentum. So let's learn what is the SI unit of momentum. So what is the SI unit of momentum? SI unit of momentum is kg meter per second. Then how did we get the SI unit of momentum? So using the formula P is equal to mv. I'll show you. P is equal to m into v. So we'll write SI unit of momentum. I want, right? So I'll write P as it is, which is equal to, what is the SI unit of m is what? M is mass. So what is the SI unit of mass? SI unit of mass is kg. I have written kg here. And here is what? Velocity. Then what is the SI unit of velocity? SI unit of velocity is meter per second. So what is the SI unit of momentum then? Then the SI unit of momentum is kg meter per second. Simply, if you know the formula, you can write SI unit of any physical quantities. So be prepared about the formula. So be practicing about the formula. Okay. Okay. Next we will go for the dimensional formula. So what is the dimensional formula? The dimensional formula of a momentum is, again we will use the formula. What is that formula? P is equal to m into v. Okay, so always dimensional formula of any physical quantity is written with square bracket. So I am putting the square bracket for the momentum. The dimensional formula of momentum is equal to, I'll use this formula to write the dimensional formula. So always the dimensional formula is written with the mass, length and time symbols. Using these three quantities, we will write the dimensional formula. That is what we say it as MLT. Okay. This is, and these three are fundamental quantities, that which you know already. M is mass and V is velocity. So we'll write what is M. M stands for mass. So it is same. The dimensional formula contains the same, which is M, capital M. Okay. How many quantities of mass is there? Only one quantity. It is 1. If you don't write 1 also, no problem. Next one is velocity. What do you mean by velocity? Velocity is what?
Displacement divided by time. So it is displacement divided by time, and this displacement can be measured in terms of
Length, fundamental quantity, and time. We have to bring it to the three fundamental quantities, then we have to write the dimensional formula. So length by time we got. Now what we got? L, and if this t goes to numerator, what it becomes? T power minus 1. So this is the dimensional formula of velocity. So what is the dimensional formula of velocity? Lt minus 1. Okay, as there is no m, just we can write it as Lt minus 1. So here is a velocity, I'll write in that place Lt minus 1. Here is no place, I'll write again it down. So m as it is m1 Lt minus 1. So this is the dimensional formula of momentum. I hope you have understood. So what is the dimensional formula of momentum? The dimensional formula of momentum is square bracket of m1 L1 t minus 1. So this is the dimensional formula of momentum, which is very important. For CET, they will ask you for 1 marks. There is a chances of asking, and this momentum concept is very important. Based on this, we will study law of conservation of linear momentum in coming sessions. Okay, now I hope you have understood the session of momentum and their definition, SI unit, and dimension formula. One more thing which I want to tell about this momentum is a vector quantity. This momentum is a vector quantity. Why is it a vector quantity? Because it is having both magnitude and direction. As the momentum is having both magnitude and direction, it is called as a vector quantity. Is it clear? So I hope you have understood the class. Thank you.